I have very rarely uh, been as disappointed with a company as I have been with T-Mobile over the last 4 months. It has been a journey, about a third of a year of just nonsense, ridiculousness, lies, and it all started with a simple desire. I wanted internet for my car if I drive somewhere far away. Or even if I'm just like, maybe not feeling like stopping somewhere that has internet, like a library or somebody I know's house. And I was advised to get a hotspot. Now, when I spoke to the customer service representative that they had in their store, he told me they had two options. It was either I think it was 350. He blurted out some number of megabytes or their unlimited plan. And I was like, okay, unlimited. I mean, I'm probably gonna be using this thing a lot if I'm just in general doing my own stuff. And I purchased the unlimited one. This is like 50 something a month, whatever. And for about 2 weeks, I was fine with it. You have this little device, you charge it, and then you're able to go on the internet, until the thing needs to be charged again or runs out of battery. But after about 2 weeks, or I should say less than 2 weeks, it starts like it will turn on, but it won't work anymore. So I can turn it on, but not go on the internet. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. So I go to the store and they tell me that it's defective. They say they'll give me a new one, and then I get the new one, and it's working for the duration of the latter part of January all through February, and then around early March is where it starts acting up again. Now, as this has now happened, twice, I'm figuring, okay, there's got to be something up with the device, right? There's not anything wrong on my part because we've already discussed I brought one back that was acting up. Around the same time, I get a bill that is about $10 or $20 larger than what it was for the last like 2 months, and I kind of scoff at that, just kind of think it's a little weird, but I don't really make much of it. Of course, they don't say why it's larger, but when I get to the store the next time, it all gets explained. So they revealed to me that my internet on the hotspot was actually not unlimited, and that I apparently used more than the amount that I was allowed for the month, and that's why it stopped working. Um, when I heard this, I immediately stopped using the thing. I didn't, it literally was just something I carried on me and didn't rely on anymore at all. Um, and because I didn't get a bill for the month of April, I assumed that they might be and I know because I know that they can determine how much of it you're using, right, to where they can have the thing slow down like they did before. I assumed that it was probably being monitored, and then the fact I wasn't using it was like, okay, well, if they're not going to use it, then we're not going to charge them. Now, about 3 days ago, I go to a place I get mail from, and I get a lovely surprise. I've been charged the price of the month, like the upcoming month of May, right, which starts tomorrow, and the month of April, in which I didn't use the device at all, and I also get a little $7 fee for a late charge. Now, I have no problem taking the L in terms of admitting if I don't pay something, but I still think there was, justification to believe that I wasn't supposed to pay because I wasn't using it anymore. Okay, fine, whatever. So I call the customer service number. They tell me that the services for the account are suspended until the payment is made. That's basically their way of holding hostage. Like, okay, if you're not going to pay us, we're not going to let you cancel it or do anything with regard to us being helpful. So I pay the thing, and then I call them back, and they tell me that if I want to cancel the account, I need to give them a PIN number. Now, a PIN number is a number that according to their own stupid app, could be any amount of numbers from 6 to 15. In terms of numbers that could be in there, and I just couldn't figure out what it was. I knew my account number as well as the phone number for it as well, but that apparently wasn't enough. So they tell me I have to go in store to cancel it, and I can then meet with someone in store who can also change the PIN number. I go in the store the exact next day, and I say, hey, look, I'm here to cancel my service. Oh, we don't cancel services in store. You have to call up the customer service. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. They told me to come to you, right? And I'm like, all right, let me just, can I at least get the pin changed? They change the pin. I go home. I call them again, the customer service number. And the wait time to talk to somebody is like at least 12, 13, 14 minutes. I'm just sitting here waiting for this thing to finally be done. Just waiting and waiting and waiting. So I speak to a customer service person. They tell me, oh, we could always give you another option. Maybe less of it. And no, I want this to be over. I'm done with it. So they tell me that they've canceled it. They've supposedly sent me a confirmation email and number. Of course, I don't see it anywhere. And then I go and while I'm talking to them, I ask them, hey, so do I have to return the device that I've been, not using for the last 2 months? They tell me, yes, I have a week to do that. I go into one of their stores again, and they tell me that the device is now mine. I can keep it. You don't return it. And I'm a little weirded out by this because I remember when they give you the bill, they have all these different charges, and one of them is the device fee. It's like $2, and it's basically this thing where it says if you like own this for, I think it's 2 years, 3 years, then it'll be yours to own. So that kind of weirded me out, and I'm probably going to call them up again just to make further confirm that what was said to me was true. But yeah, think about this, all because I wanted to cancel this crap that doesn't half work. I had to call them to get to try to get it canceled, then go to the store to get the password or whatever PIN thing on my account changed to something I could actually remember, then call them again to then have them cancel the service, and be told by them that I needed to return the device, only to then go in store to return the device and be told that I am allowed to keep it. It's a real runaround trying to return stuff, trying to get out of these services. And you really see where their mission is to not be helpful, between having customer representatives who lie to you, who tell you that, oh yeah, this is unlimited, right? And then you have another one who you get on the phone with, they tell you to go in the store, right? Try to pawn you off to people in the store. People in the store try to pawn you off to the phone number. And of course, let's not forget that they have it to where if they don't detect the amount that you owe is paid all the way, then they're not even going to speak to you, as far as having a person talk to you. It is a complete mess. And I used to have internet with them, or rather I used to have I think a phone with them about, it could have been 14, 15 years ago. I know it was at some point when I was in like preschool. But it's just so insane to think that you want to cancel a service and they truly make it so difficult that you would think they're trying, like they're doing it on purpose. Like, okay, this person, we're not going to make any money if they stop, using our crap. So, I know we'll say that he needs to call this number, and then we'll say he needs to go over here, and then we'll call that number. I mean, it's nuts. So I really have had a pretty awful time with them. I don't even want to call them T-Mobile anymore. I've been thinking of nicknames. T-Maggots is the one I'm most content with, because I find them to be very parasitic. Poor service, a lot of misinformation from the people working for them. And really it just seems like no one actually wants to do their job. Like you try talking to one of them and they just tell you to go call somebody else. I haven't seen anything this bad since that time I called the Secretary of State's office and just got the runaround, where everyone is trying so hard to do the least amount of work as possible that they just keep sending you to this person or that person. It's nuts. And like I said, I've been managing for 2 months without that stupid thing. I was interested in getting it for the purpose of having, like, what they said was unlimited internet, and then once you get roped in, not only do you find out it's not unlimited after you've been with them already for multiple months, but then when you try to get out of it, there's like this whole convoluted process. And really the stupidest thing to me is, like, if you use comment, because I know their whole thing is like, oh, for pins, we want pins so that we can ensure that people are, who they say they are. But it's like, if someone is logging in and they're paying a bill, do you really believe that that's like an imposter? Like, who's going to try to steal someone's account, supposedly by paying what is due on the account? Um, I don't know. It's just it's so convoluted for like it's more trouble than it's worth. What I'm saying. I never want to bother with them ever again after this experience. They are terrible.